Law professor banned from Weibo. Social media crackdown. G7 countries condemn Hong Kong's attack on freedom. Hello and welcome to Sound of Hope News. I'm Liam O'Neill and today is May 11th. A professor of constitutional law at the East China Normal University in Shanghai recently posted that anti-epidemic measures were illegal. His article was quickly blocked on the Chinese internet and his Weibo account subsequently banned. Professor Tongzhi Wei is the vice president of the China Society of Constitutional Law, and 20 other political science professors from 9 different universities contributed to his recent article. He focused on 2 practices of the pandemic lockdowns: forcibly moving people from their homes into hospitals and forcing people to surrender house keys. Officials have claimed that these measures were admissible under Public Security Administration law, which describes emergency actions to be taken in a state of emergency. But Professor Tong stated that according to Chinese Constitution, a state of emergency must first be declared by the Standing Committee of the National People's Congress and the State Council of the Communist Party of China. These declarations never happened. Professor Tong stated, "The situation in Shanghai is not an isolated case. I'm afraid it violates Article 39 of the Constitution. It is illegal to intrude into a citizen's home." Over the last 2 months, Beijing has given much effort towards grappling with mounting public anger over the strict zero-COVID policy in many large cities. Various social media platforms are under increasing scrutiny from Chinese regulators. On Saturday, April 30th, WeChat froze the public account of Hong Hao, managing director at BOCOM International Bank of Communications. That's China's 5th largest bank. Hong's last post on WeChat was about huge outflows of capital from the country. He also forecasted on March 21st that, quote, the Shanghai Composite would drop below 3,000 points. Last weekend, Hong's WeChat account, which had more than 3 million followers, had been completely removed. A notice from WeChat said, all content has been blocked. The user is banned from using the account because it had violated the regime's internet rules. No further details were given. Last October, WeChat suspended more than 1,400 users' accounts for, quote, making negative comments. WeChat claimed that the accounts had distorted the interpretation of economic policies. The control the CCP has over big tech companies is well known. Companies like Alibaba, Baidu, and Tencent have all been issued hefty fines for making business deals without Chinese officials' approval. On June 30th of last year, Chinese ride-hailing giant Didi Chuxing launched a much-anticipated $4.4 billion initial public offering on the New York Stock Exchange. 2 days later, Chinese authorities opened an investigation into Didi and removed all of the group's core services in China. This made share prices plummet and blocked its ability to sign up new users. According to Reuters, Didi's president, Jean Liu, one of China's highest profile executives, also made her posts on WeChat invisible to her more than 10 million followers over the weekend. Even her father, Liu Chuanzhi, that's founder of computer group Lenovo, switched off his account, which had 880,000 followers. All their posts in the past 6 months were also removed. Henry Gao, he's a law professor at Singapore Management University, recently commented that the tech giants are having increasing difficulty operating in China. Foreign ministers from G7 countries on May 9th expressed grave concern about the selection process of Hong Kong's chief executive, calling it an attack on fundamental freedoms. The European Union also condemned it as a violation of democratic principles. A statement from G7 countries read that the selection process was part of a continued assault on political pluralism and fundamental freedoms. The current nomination process and resulting appointment are a stark departure from the aim of universal suffrage and further erode the ability of Hong Kongers to be legitimately represented. 64-year-old Lee Kai-chiu, that's the new Hong Kong executive, is a 40-year veteran of the Hong Kong Police and Security Bureau. Over the past decade, he has helped suppress the Occupy Central and anti-extradition treaty protests that consumed the island for weeks on end. He also helped the former Hong Kong executive, Miss Carrie Lam, enforce the Hong Kong version of the national security law, arresting a large number of pro-democracy activists and shutting down more than a dozen news organizations. The European Union also issued a statement on the same day saying that they regret this violation of democratic principles and political pluralism and sees this selection process as yet another step in the dismantling of the one country, two systems principle. Thank you so much for joining us today for Sound of Hope's China Briefs. Please click like and subscribe for more daily updates.